Hey, this is Al from Transformational Gaming. Appreciate you coming by. Appreciate you coming to the channel. I know it's been a minute since I've been on here, but just want to say to you guys, happy belated holidays and New Year's. I want to put out a game of the year for last year pretty soon, but right now there's so much stuff going on in the industry, and I just want to get right into what this video is all about. So one of the comments that I've gotten since my last video, one that kind of stuck out, was saying, well, Alex, we think you going in too hard on Phil Spencer and Microsoft. And, I just want to say something to that commenter. And one of the things I want to say is on contrary, I don't think I'm going hard enough. This dude has an interview with IGN, and he did a terrible job. he just accepted an award from this lady last year that I put out on this channel. He had just accepted a Lifetime Achievement Award from this same lady who made him look like he was being held up and robbed, right? And now he's giving a concession speech, basically conceding that he's done a terrible job. He's done a terrible job running Microsoft. Essentially, that's what he's doing. And he's trying to make things better. And he got these games that, one, he released, and I think Red Faction and Starfield are the other two big games for Microsoft. But I got one thing to say about that. Those games don't move the needle. Now, I would say Starfield probably does. I'm looking forward to Starfield. I hope this game come out. But if you listen to this interview, like, he is scared beyond recognition to firmly say that Starfield is coming out this year. Like, he knows that he knows that this game is not coming out this year. And I'm afraid that Starfield is going to be canceled because I know how Phil Spencer's mind works. It works the same way as it always did. Let's go ahead and get all of these factions and stuff into the game so that we can have some type of multiplayer, cloud-based, weird crap going on with the game. And you can tell Todd Howard was like, no, we're not taking any of that. We're not putting any of that in our game. So you can tell there's a power struggle between Phil Spencer and Todd Howard. And I'm just going on by what they've been saying in their press conferences. I mean, look at Senua Saga. You can tell that game is going to be some type of multiplayer initiative. And there's a lot of stuff going on with Microsoft. They're getting a lot of turnover. They're firing a lot of people. They know Halo was a bust, even though I would count Halo as a success compared to the rest of the games that just came out. Probably their biggest game is Forza, but they're not going to let anybody see the numbers because at the end of the day, they know that the numbers are pathetic. So they're not going to let people see the financials. But they're going to subpoena Sony for their records, and they're going to point out that The Last of Us is a great base case for Sony's success, so they can buy this doggone near $100 billion company. That argument shot down, because if I was the courts, I would say, well, how are you able to afford this $100 billion acquisition if y'all doing so bad? So I don't think that's going to be instantiated. I don't think that's going to change the judge's mind as far as if they're going to be acquiring this company or should they acquire this company. The FTC is there for a reason, and I think the government has like a 90% win ratio. I'm not sure. I would say this as far as the acquisition goes, because there's a lot of things with Microsoft. It ain't just this interview. There's a lot of things that went on with Microsoft since the short time that I've been gone. And I would have liked to have made a video about it. I'm not going to make this video too long. But Microsoft, I don't see them having a good year at all. Like, I don't see them acquiring Activision, because how can you make an argument like that? The fact that Sony's doing good and you're not? No, your division ain't doing good, but the company is doing well. But the real issue is that You got people in charge like Matt Booty that should not be in charge. And you're going to fire a lot of people from 343. And the games that you got coming out are not going to move the needle. I think he knows that. I think Forza will do good. I think that's coming out this year. I don't think Starfield is coming out this year. I think Ninja Theory and I think Bethesda are really dug in about this multiplayer stuff. And the real issue is that it's going to be very difficult to have a game like Starfield and like Senua Saga. I think Senua Saga's dead. I'm going to be honest with you. He has not said anything about it since that last debacle of a trailer. So I think Senua Saga's gone. But Starfield is still on the list. And coming out with Starfield, I don't think it's technical issues. That company has been putting out games like Fallout for decades. So they know how to put out games. But it may be a little bit about when we put this out, it's going to be at the highest of quality, which would be good look for you, Phil Spencer. That'll be a good look for you. But I don't think that is the real issue. I think the real issue is that Phil wants this to be a multiplayer game. That's just my opinion. And I think that's what's the biggest holdup out of everything. Yeah, maybe we need to optimize this a little bit more. We don't need no crashes here, right? Our fault tolerance needs to be a little bit smaller. But I honestly believe that that's the biggest issue with Starfield. And that's why he's very scared to give a due date for Starfield. And it's just a shame. You know, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. A lot of people are going to be brought in. But I don't think anybody who's a quality developer wants to work for Microsoft. They know what's going on with the management. And when you see companies like Insomniac being brought over to Microsoft, and then one game in, they're back over there to Sony. People see that. And I know it happened a long time ago, but look what's going on now. Look at their releases. Come on, man. Forza is now the face of Microsoft? Forza? I mean, how many people are into racing games nowadays? I'm not. And I like Forza. I like it much better than Gran Turismo. But come on, man. And yes, I made a video last year about Gran Turismo. How you shouldn't buy it. So don't be telling me that I'm going too hard on these companies. That's not the situation. I would love to talk about other stuff. I want to talk about a retrospective on the Sony generations of consoles. I want to do a retrospective on the Microsoft consoles. I can't do that because every time I start recording and doing research, this type of stuff comes out. And I have to comment on it. Why? Because I got to let people know what it is. And what it is a bunch of malarkey. And Microsoft is not doing bad. The problem is that they're trying to trim the fat. I did some research and I discovered during my research that Game Pass doesn't even have as many subscribers as the PSN network. Now what's up with that? You got Digital Foundry putting their neck out there saying how great this is. David Jaffe trying to convince everybody that Game Pass is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I come to find out they don't even have as many subscribers as the PSN. So you giving out free games on your platform and it's very cheap. I had it. I don't have it anymore. I'm probably going to get it back at some point because it's cheap. It's like $15 a month. That's less than Netflix. And you got all these free games that's either cheap or heavily discounted and you still can't get people to come to your platform? Man, I just think, man, you got to get this stuff together, man. I think it's time for, and people have been championing this, but I think it's time for you to go, Phil Spencer. I think it's time for you to go. And I hate having to champion people to be fired. But to me, the common denominator is you. Since you've come on board, Microsoft has torpedoed. It's barely recognizable as a division now. And no, Microsoft as a company hasn't been doing bad, but you've been doing terrible. And also, I'm going to end on this. I do think it's weak that Microsoft is discontinuing Windows 10. That doesn't bring gamers to Game Pass. That makes people mad. That makes people not want to come to Game Pass. That makes people want to try and hack their way into protecting their own version of Windows. and saying rebelling and saying I'm not getting no Windows 11. Now I think I will give them props. I think the upgrade to Windows 11 is free, but what if people don't have the prerequisite requirements for running Windows 11? That's right. They got to go out and they got to buy newer PC components and newer laptops and stuff. Oh, okay, I get it now. Anyway, this is pathetic. If you got any comments about it, please comment in the comment section. Give this video a like if you agree with it. And again, my apologies for not being on for so long. I've been trying to keep the channel up. I want to do a piece on God of War as well. So be looking for all of that content. But we'll be back on pretty soon. Hopefully we can get some more videos back up. So until then, may the truth set you free. This is Al from Transformational Gaming, and we out.